Oh,
Hey
look at this.
yo, what's up? What's up?
What's going on? Full
Full
screen on
screen.
this show, right?
We
God
got
damn.
four in the
And
door, right? Yep.
a beautiful woman, is in our
Thank you.
presence, right? We got
Well, nothing
Marcy back
beautiful about the
again.
three of
I think
us,
this is
that's
our
for sure.
third, huh?
Nothing
That's
beautiful about
not
the three of
true.
us, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly, right? No, we're all beautiful people, right? That's the politically correct answer.
That's
Right,
That's
right.
right.
Marcy?
That's right.
We're
Yeah.
not retards. Just
No. Yep.
yeah, we got Marcy. I mean, I think this is her third show.
We just
So
struggle a little more. That's all.
This is Marcy's third
yeah.
show. Do you
Third
know, Nick?
show.
Marcy still holds the It's a Podacstrophe record for most views.
For most
Dude, I
views.
believe it, man.
Yeah.
Marcy was fucking the shit
Really?
when she was
What
on.
was that?
So,
160
yeah.
something? Because we came close to like 120 something, like a
Dude,
big
we
120.
blew the fucking roof off with Marcy on last time. Yeah.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That
There's
was
only
good.
one. There's an addict that has 200 and something views, but that's in its own category.
Oh, awesome.
Oh yeah, that's mine. Yeah, that's mine. That's right. I do have 200 something views. That was the one
You know
where I
what?
vented
You know
talked to
why,
people.
guys? Because it's
Everybody
so
was on
real
that one.
life. It's so people can relate. You know, and that means a lot. So
We're here tonight with my wife, Marcy D'Agostino. She's a licensed psychotherapist, and she's here if anybody's listening. You got any questions, she'll answer them for you. And we're
great
gonna
to have you back, Marcy. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
indeed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We
Thank
all
you for
can use
having
some
me,
mental
guys.
health loving.
What do we got going on?
Yeah, all of us.
Lately,
Or
baby?
everybody, rather.
Huh?
Say
I would
again?
say that maybe what you got going on in life right now, baby?
Me?
Yeah, you.
An ass.
Where do I begin?
Yeah.
What don't I have going on right now?
Yeah.
And that's the truth, right? All of us, right? Hey,
You're
I got a
doing that.
question,
You're doing
Marcy.
the telehealth thing.
Yeah,
You're
I
doing
think
that
it's
for a while. You had
grand
your own
scale.
practice.
Everybody's going through so much.
Yeah.
Marcy,
Yeah.
I got
caught the
tons of
tail end of
questions,
that. I'm
right?
so
As
sorry.
usual. So whenever you're
All
ready.
right. Fire away.
So here's what
I'm ready.
I'm thinking. It's like when you're doing, you don't have to, of course, there's patient doctor privacy shit. I understand that, but I mean, when you're going through your stuff, it's like, what do you see the most? It's like, is it daily anxiety and issues with people, or is it long-standing stuff, or like immediate? What do you see the most that you have to deal with?
Well, I see a lot, but honestly, the biggest thing I deal with is anxiety.
Yeah.
Hands down. And it's not like a clear-cut issue. Like the DSM kind of lays it out, like, here, if you have these symptoms, you have this disorder, right?
You got this code.
So
yeah,
that's great in terms of like collateral information or symptom clusters or whatever, but it doesn't really, it's not really helpful in actually dealing with that anxiety or moving forward, because like everything else, anxiety is on a continuum. Uncomfortable, a little anxious, to like, oh my God, I can't function. I'm at home in my bed. Okay. So there's lots of different levels. And why people suffer with anxiety is different from one person to another. But also, too, anxiety is probably one of the most common symptoms of any type of change, transition, detox, changing habits, anything. You stop eating sugar, you're going to get anxious. Doesn't matter what you do, any changes, like anxiety is probably like number one when it comes to like.
I stopped drinking soda, dude. So, I was craving for it. I stopped at Jersey Mike's earlier. Dude, I was looking at the freaking thing like it was a naked broad. I was like salivating at the mouth. I swear to God. My fat ass. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Oh
How you doing? We'll always put shit in perspective.
I was foaming like a freaking, like a goddamn raccoon, dude. Like, running around during the day. You know what I'm saying?
You got rabies.
or Danny at night in the fucking bar.
That's too fucking funny. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. Love it, bro.
All right, go ahead. I had to throw a little laugh in there.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Well, but yeah,
so where was
I mean,
oh yeah. Okay, so
anything, like you said, and sugar is definitely powerful.
Huge. It's very addictive too. Obviously, everybody knows that. Everyone who's had sugar knows how addictive it is. Caffeine is addictive. Like even if you change your diet a little bit, you're gonna get anxious. It just how big that is really up to the person. But when I'm working with somebody, no matter what's going on with them, I really got to find out why. Like, what are the common denominators for them in terms of their anxiety? What are the experiences? How do they experience it? How do they perceive it? You know, there's so much that you have to take every person, every circumstance, and all the things that they've dealt with, whether it be like trauma in their childhood, how they perceive certain things, transitions in their life, like medical stuff, you know, everything. You have to look at everything, take everything in consideration. This way, you know how they got to where they're at. This way you can help them unravel it, you know? And for everybody, it's a little bit different, you know? So when people come to me with anxiety, there's all different reasons and ways they've gotten there, whether that be hormonal, you know, whether it be like, you know, substance use, whether it be, you know, and substance use is kind of like, you know, what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Because a lot of people use substances to medicate those feelings, right? It's so uncomfortable that they don't want to feel that way, or for trauma, or just because, you know, it's hard for them to change their internal state, you know, emotional state. It's super difficult for a lot of people. So anxiety is definitely a big issue, and I don't really feel like it's really treated well. You know, you have to understand where it's coming from to know how to treat it, right? So what do they usually do? They give medications. You know, people go to therapy and they're like, okay, a lot of things I hear, you know, I tried that, didn't work. But in terms of anxiety, if you're going, you know, to treat that, to unravel it, there's lots of different ways. You know, you have to unravel the reason why you're anxious. And that can be very intensive work, just depending on what the problem is, right? You might have to like really reach back to figure out what are the triggers, like what are the things happening inside, you know?
Uncomfortable places in your life that caused that, you know, things that places where you don't want to take your mind.
Because it's not just a matter of like coping mechanisms. That's just something you use, you know, to help you. That's a piece of the puzzle. But you have to look at like what's happening. And a lot of times it's something, you know, from the past, or it's something that's held inside their body, or something they don't even consciously realize is a trigger, because your conscious mind is very, you know, you can understand a lot of things conceptually, right? You know, things make sense, but on a body level, to be able to use that knowledge in the moment to know what's going on is a completely different thing entirely. Exactly. So it's about kind of learning how to do that, you know. Any type of coping mechanism, anything you do, you need to train yourself to do. You have to train yourself to think differently. You train yourself to respond differently, and your body will start to feel different and respond differently, you know. So it's like the 80-20. If you take care of 20% of, you know, a foundational principle, you take care of 80% of the problem. You know what I mean? So it's about looking at that way too. Like what are like the foundational pieces there that we can pick on, that we can elaborate, that we can, you know, like utilize. So but basically really what it has to do with, like, once you kind of unravel if there's any like significant pieces, like rule out medical, rule out any like trauma, you know, because you want to dig into those pieces as well. But it comes down to thoughts, feelings, and actions, right? Those are all connected. So exactly, you have to change the way, you have to really gather data. Look at the way you think. Like, what are you thinking about? Like, when something happens, what thoughts get, you know, triggered from that? You know, you gather a bunch of data, you use that data to change your thought processes one step at a time until it becomes, you know, like second nature. And then when your thought processes change, the way your body expresses and feels emotions will change. You know what I mean? So it's just all about connecting all of those things. Behaviors, same thing. You know, there's certain behaviors you do that will trigger things, or that are not healthy for one person, but actually work well for another person. So it's about figuring all that stuff out, you know, for each person.
So I mean, would you say it's about creating like healthy habits when it comes to anxiety and things like that, and how to react? And does that apply?
Definitely it. It's like it's a holistic view, right? It's everything you do matters, right? So it's not just, mental health isn't disconnected from health. It's all the same thing. Your brain is an organ like
physical,
anything else.
Mental. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you gotta do the exercise, even if that's like, if all you can do is 5 minutes a day walking, then you're making progress. And
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
trying to move to eat a little bit better, because that matters. 70 or 80% of your serotonin is built in your stomach. So if
That's
you're not
right.
taking care of your stomach, it's going to affect you. It's going to cause anxiety and depression,
mind, body,
mood,
mind.
Issues.
Yeah.
100%.
So it's about doing the things, and for everyone, it's going to look different. And I think a big issue too is everyone feels if like they make some changes and nothing changes like immediately or as drastically as they want.
Give up.
They give up. Kind of defeated. Yeah, because they're looking at where they want to go and where they're at, rather than where they're at and where they were. Right. So it's just kind of like a tweak on perspective. So that's a big thing. I always have to remind people. I'm like, you are making progress. You're doing better than you did yesterday. Yay.
That's right.
Awesome. Keep going.
Even if it's 10%.
A lot of people are just like, no, it's too hard. I want to give up.
That's what I've been going through.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. You just got to have that mindset.
I'm trying to change my, Marcie talks about this with me all the time. And, I suck at, changing my mindset. So I'm like, I'm really trying hard. Actually, when, instead of like giving up, I try to, every day I try to get out of like working out, Marcie does it every day, and I'll be like, oh, my back hurts. Oh, my feet. Oh, I'm always making, but I could say today was my 7th day in a row going on my walk and working out a little,
That's awesome, brother.
So
dude, Joey, it's all about habits, man. It's like building, it's like changing behaviors, building habits. It's all about that. Yeah.
I ate a salad today.
Yeah.
Right.
Fucking chickens in the backyard. You can't do that anymore.
Dude, you know what though? It's like whatever you can get in, whether it's walking, running, walking on a treadmill, jumping jacks.
But I've been in a better mood.
Like get it in, man.
I think I've been in a better mood. I'm not as I mean, I'm still like a prick, but I'm getting better, I think. I don't know, right, Marcie?
Hey, Marcie, you
definitely are. You made a lot of progress. Yeah, seriously, step by step, you've made a lot of progress. Again, it's another issue. Like, okay, I haven't made enough progress or the progress I want to make. So,
Joey, let me tell you, for me, dude, it's like when I work out, it's like I always feel better and feel more positive and feel better about myself, mental, physical, when I work out, right? So, I mean, it's like if you get into that mindset, I think that's hugely important for everybody, right?
Yeah.
So you just got to be willing to make that sacrifice, take that time, that effort, that commitment, and it's going to take you places, man. It's like commitment and discipline can take you places other things can't. So
absolutely.
Yep.
Mickey, fuck.
Exactly.
What are you
It's
laughing
just
at?
about, like I said, doing the different things that make you feel good, that help your body, that help your brain, all of that. But it's hard sometimes, because sometimes when you're really anxious or you're really depressed, you don't feel like doing anything. And so in those cases, like I said, even if you do 1 minute a day, that's progress, and you can build on that. So
I'm good.
100%, Mark. Yep.
Mickey, what the fuck's going on?
Dude, where did Mickey go?
He's laughing his fucking balls off. I don't know what he's laughing at, but he's just like, look at him. He can't even control himself.
Something.
Hey, guys, I think Mickey, let's keep going and pretend Mickey.
God, dude, I can't stop.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Mick, what was funny, brother?
Yeah, calm down, dude. Mama,
guys, that's why I love this podcast, because anything can pop off.
We're fucking like we're fucking experts. Oh, that's fucking great. I'm looking at Joey on the screen. It's like the oh shit, man.
Oh my god.
You know what this is? I'm telling you right now, people, if you're watching this shit now or fucking next week, this is fucking this is what happens when you don't put fucking needles in your arm anymore and do stupid shit in life. You laugh out of like fucking nowhere. Sorry.
I'm smoking pot.
Got make healthy decisions, man. Make healthy decisions. That's all.
Mickey, I heard you in the middle there saying like, I got a question, but then we were talking. So.
Yeah, I do. I did actually. I do.
Mick, fire it up, brother.
Sound like that cartoon. I do. Yeah. Everybody's Everybody's different. We all know every case is different. Everybody's got their own way. Everybody's got their own way to deal with shit. But for your personal preference, right? Like I said, everybody's different. Everybody responds to medicines and treatments in a different manner, right?
Hella.
But for your personal preference, would you suggest going straight to meds or going straight to like what you do, yoga? Learning how to like calm yourself down at night, like in bed, like whether it's counting freaking
meds are the last resort,
sheep or something.
You know?
Like, but for your personal preference, Marcie,
so yeah, like in general,
kind of lean towards.
In general, you want to do the work first.
Naturally,
if you're let's say you're suicidal, okay, that's a good time to take medication.
What are you comfortable with lean? I know everybody,
so you can do stuff. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
I can't hear.
Go, Marcie. Go, Marcie.
No. I was saying, we're freezing up. It's all fucked up. But go ahead.
Okay. In general, you have to do the work. You have to change the way you think, your thought process, the way you experience emotions in your body, and getting in touch with yourself and your needs and all of that stuff, right? Because that's what actually changes you. What changes your life, what changes how you look at things, everything, right? The way you feel, the anxiety, the depression, whatever. So medication is a tool like any other. It's not something that should be taken all the time unless there's severe cases. Like let's say severe schizophrenia. And in a lot of cases, someone's going to have to be on medication to be able to function. Okay. So there are outliers that make a difference, right? But in most cases, most people can learn to do it, on their own. Because as soon as you stop taking the medication, the same thing happens. Nothing has really changed. Right. It's just changing a chemical. So it's like whack-a-mole.
Yeah. That's all it is.
You take care of one, you're just treating symptoms. Yeah, you're not dealing with the foundation of the problem or why you're having the problem. So actually, you prolong the problem.
Yeah.
Right. But what do your initial, like I said, everybody's different. Everybody has you got to get to the root of the problem to figure out what to do to try to fix that. Some respond better to meds. Some respond better to the holistic way, yoga, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But which do you like as a psychiatrist, licensed psychiatrist who's been in the game a long time and very knowledgeable, obviously? What do you like to lean towards first? Are you like, fuck it, because let's be honest, psych meds, it's a whole game. You got to go around in circles unless the doctor gets lucky and winds up saying, oh, okay, we got the exact pill, the exact milligram, you're straight. You're getting fucked. You're getting mind twisted, man, for however long it takes for that doctor to find out when he knows what the medication is to prescribe. Right. I mean, we all know that.
Absolutely.
But
they got to work on the dose and the person. Everyone's got different pathways that are open to different ones.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. In general, I said,
everybody has
the best way is to do. Yeah. The best way is to do the work first, meaning like the therapy, the actual work to redesign the way your thought processes, whatever.
Right.
However, if you're suicidal, you might need something to take off the edge so you're safe and you can do the work. Right. Or if you're in a really psychotic state, you might need medication first to get you in a place where you can do the work. Then you wean yourself off the medication. So every situation, you have to take in consideration all the factors and make the best decision possible.
Oh, yeah.
There's no blanket answer. In general, people need to do the work because medication is not going to do the work for you. But there are situations where you're going to need medicine to do that. So it just
in your heart, what do you like to turn people on to? Holistic or med, pharma? Who do you like? I mean,
I'm always holistic.
Your personal preference.
That's my
I know everybody's got their own thing, but your personal preference. What are you happier with? I know there's no blanket question, but that's one. Just give me a blanket answer.
There's no blanket answer to that.
Right, but in your heart, what do you like better? Would you like to see people more jacked up on on whatever for skits, or would you like to see him try to do the yoga and stuff like that? If you could choose,
I think
I would always advocate.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I would always advocate for a holistic approach, a natural approach, because
cool.
that's
what I thought. Yeah,
what
that's
actually
cool.
is healing for the body.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's always going to be outlier situations where you need the medication, and everyone's going to make a different choice for themselves. But in general, yes, holistic and doing the work and having all that done, like healthy habits in every way, mind, body, and soul, like doing all those things, all the habits to feed that, and the changes in yourself and your thought processes and the way you experience emotion. That's what's going to actually cause change, and to heal those parts of you that are anxious or depressed or whatever it is that you're experiencing. And that's just a general statement. Some people's issues are very extreme. So you need to, basically pull out all the stops at different times, and you're constantly evaluating your situation and what you need at that time. So there's no everyone says, like, I always get this question too, this or that. Should we do this or do that? Is this good or is it bad? It doesn't really work that way. It depends on the circumstances and your particular factors, and generally you should always strive for holistic health,
That's what I wanted to hear.
First, not second, because you want to treat the cause, not the symptom. So exactly. But a lot of people, it's hard to do the work and they feel defeated. So, and even if they're take medication, again, just to feel a little bit better, so they're more motivated to do the work, and like use a combination, that's great. It just really depends on where everybody's at, and all the factors involved.
I was doing it for a while. It's like, I need meds, but Marcia's like, no, you got to do the, you don't have to do that. Don't, do this.
You got to put the work in,
Yeah, so I feel like for you, it wasn't necessary at that time. You know what I mean? Like, you got this.
Joey, meaning you're not as fucked up as me and Mickey are. Period.
Oh no,
I'm just gonna blend in with you guys, okay?
No, I think you guys are more
sound, like sandpaper. You guys are more smooth out.
We all have our special brand of fucked up, for sure.
That's right.
We all have our own brand of fucked up.
You're well put, Marcia.
We do.
Let me tell you,
some are more obvious than others.
That's a freaking t-shirt right there, boys and girls.
Dude,
whoever wants to pick that up,
I've been write a book. That's what the name of it's going to be.
I love that.
Your own brand.
Like, I was on.
But it's
let
true.
me tell you guys.
That's good.
I was on Xanax for like about 13 years, right, Marcie?
Yeah.
For anxiety and like sleep, turn my brain off when I go to bed.
You had it bad. Like you had it bad. Remember when you were a kid? You used to go.
It's fucking awful.
You take breaths.
Trouble breathing and everything. Yeah. It was
terrible.
So I've been through like Boost Bar, Zoloft, Ambien. I finally settled on Xanax for about 13 years, and I moved to where I am now, and they didn't want to renew it. They're like, oh, we don't prescribe Xanax because it's addictive and you might get dementia. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. It's like, just give me what helps me. So they actually skipped me over to Trazodone, right? And Trazodone is like, it's okay, but it's not like Trazodone you take and it'll knock you out immediately, but you'll wake up at 3 a.m. It's like, okay, I'm wide awake now. What do I do? So it's like everybody. I mean, everything affects everybody differently. For me, it's like Xanax was fine for me. It felt great. It didn't have any side effects. I was fine on it. I never asked for a higher dose. But then they're like, oh, we can't do that. We don't feel comfortable prescribing Xanax, so we're going to do Trazodone. It's like, so are you more concerned about what you feel comfortable with, or what I am more comfortable with? Right. So
right. You got to look at the whole.
It's different, like from state to state. If you were in Florida, they'd be like, all right, here you go. Like, it depends on the doctor you go to. But because they're controlled substances, some people won't prescribe them at all because they don't want to deal with the flack. They don't want to deal with any of that. And other people, like I said, it depends.
Prominent now.
Opiates, like that makes sense why that's controlled. Like also too, benzos, but the addiction potential for benzos is a lot lower than opiates. So it's like opiates you take, it's almost like certain you're going to get addicted. Your body or some level
9 out of 10
because
people,
they're so addicted. And they screw up your dopamine system so bad that it's hard to even feel normal, like, or happy for like the longest time afterwards. It screws you up that much. Benzos are more similar to alcohol
Right.
in the way they act in the nervous system, like kind of numbing it down. It takes a lot longer to get addicted in that way. You know what I mean? If you use them right, it'll be, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's all about how you use it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the other
That's
things that
key.
you do. So, but again, because so many people have problems, and it's not just, it's everything, man. People abuse everything. You'd be amazed at the stuff that people, you know, are doing just
Just
kind of
with
like
ketchup.
everything. Okay. And there's like a new drug all the time. So, you know, when you find something that works for somebody, but there are a lot of people that are, you know, doctor shopping and trying to get, you know, and they're abusing the substances and stuff.
Right.
And so because they deal with that so much, doctors are like, forget that. But, you know, I'm sure if you went to, you could probably find a doctor that would prescribe. You just have to like go to different ones and see, you know, which one would actually kind of listen to what you have to say and what you've experienced, you know, like it doesn't sound like you've had any withdrawal symptoms from it or
not at all.
Anything like that.
I was just gonna ask him that. You didn't have muscle spasms at night? You didn't get like crazy in the head a little bit? You just rolled right through it? You didn't sweat? Nothing?
You know, and the crazy thing is when I was on it, I never asked for like an increased dosage. I was always on 0.5 milligrams, 1 to 2 pills per night for 13 years, dude. So I never increased dosage or asked for an increased dosage. You know,
you
my
don't
doctor
need to have an increased dosage to feel a kick.
Right.
That putting something in your body for 13 years and then taking it out immediately, you're gonna have something. Maybe you didn't even realize. Maybe you thought you had the flu. Maybe you maybe you didn't realize or something. But
could have been. I'll tell you,
blows my mind, man.
The worst thing I ever withdrew from as a person was caffeine. Nothing was worse for me. I quit cigarettes, but caffeine. I had for a month or two straight. I had migraine headaches, the sweats, the shakes. Caffeine was always the worst I ever withdrew from. Yep.
I heard it's bad. I mean, I'm not even
it's
trying.
Like very different for everybody.
It's crazy.
I was like trying to suck dick for some caffeinated coffee.
Are you?
Yeah.
I
was like,
weed? You're in here for smoking weed, motherfucker? I was sucking dick for cocaine.
I seen him.
And you're in here for weed? You ain't no drug addict.
I got a cheeseburger, man. You know?
Oh shit.
That's right. Man, dude. That's
shit. I've been doing all right, but like the other day, we were backing out. I was backing out, and this lady just barreled through, and I was like, "Fuck!" And Marcie's like, "No." You know, like, and it was. I've been all right for a while, not yelling at people, and then, but this old lady just almost. I was backed out, like I was all the way out pretty much, and she just kept coming, and I just had to pull back into the space, and I was like, and then she pulled like two, 3 spaces down from us, and I was like, "Fuck this," and she was like, "No," and I was like, "Are you
Joey, it seems so trivial, bro, doesn't it? I mean, seriously,
it made me feel better.
It's like you got people jumping out of basement windows, and you're worried about.
But it's like more cost to you to be angry at that level. You know what I mean?
Right?
Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That lady didn't know what the hell was going on either. She's driving like that. She doesn't know what the hell was going on. I don't know what she was doing, but she was.
Dude, she pulled that. What was that one broad?
Yeah,
that actress that was. She was all effed up on fentanyl. All you saw was the door ring, the fucking video ring. Ding! The car went flying. Anne Hathaway. She was married to the dyke.
Really? I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
She died. Right? Yeah, she died.
Yeah,
she crashed into a building. She was all whacked out on pills.
Yeah.
The famous fentanyl thing that it's mixed. Probably some pressed pills.
I'm telling
she
you,
died behind the wheel.
No joke.
Yeah.
Oh God, I can't stand seeing that stuff on this.
Fentanyl's scary, man. You can't even touch that stuff. You could die.
Oh my God, I can't even watch that shit either anymore, man. That shit gets to me.
No, it's horrible.
A whole different deal nowadays.
It's sad.
Whole different deal.
Dude.
Nuts, right? Oh. Yeah. So anyway, anxiety, it's a bitch.
There you go. There you go, Einstein. There he is. There you go. Take a hit from me,
really is.
You just sound like somebody farted. Is that you, Mickey?
Probably, but no. Although I was told I do fart in my sleep. And I punch, and I curse, and I kick.
I talk in my sleep. Let's talk about Is there something wrong with me because I talk in my sleep, babe?
Yeah.
Mick, my Dukes is telling you to calm down, huh?
She said, Mick, calm
got
down,
something,
dude.
man. Let me tell you.
Calm down. What the hell
so
is so funny?
Yeah, it's good to see Mick laugh again.
That's funny.
No
That's
meds.
too fucking funny.
No meds.
No meds.
She hates meds. She hates. My mother does not like pills. She doesn't take nothing.
Yeah,
She has no
use
vices at all.
marijuana is what
she's a lucky one.
Me.
Doesn't drink, never smoked, never did nothing except take care of her.
Me too,
family.
man.
All
No
she
drink, no
did.
Smoke.
Unbelievable. No vices at all.
No drink,
I don't know how. And that blows my mind. I don't know how people do it. Isn't that crazy? You think something, you got to have a vice, but
nah.
Some
people chew their nails. Somebody's
Everyone's got something.
She don't even do that. You know what her fucking vice is? Breaking my balls when I see her.
Yeah. Breaking my balls.
That's right.
But look, you know.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
I'm what do we do today? We went out shopping today.
Where'd you shop today, boy?
I feel like I'm about to start babbling about like dumb shit. So let's get back into this.
No, not you.
Marcie, is there anything else you'd like to speak on?
Here's what I'm curious about, guys, is like when it comes to Marcie, it's like, I mean, in a profession that you're in, it's like, how busy are you? I mean, is it like nonstop shit or?
I'm sure,
I mean,
right?
I imagine
Look at this world.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually,
I've
actually wind down. I'm not really doing my practice anymore because I've been doing direct care since I was
I heard that.
young.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome. Yeah.
I want to move on to like more educational stuff, behind the scenes, kind of changing
Makes sense.
the way, mental health is viewed, how it's treated, all of that stuff. Yeah, exactly. But let me tell you, when I was doing my practice, you have to like beat people away, like close up your schedule because it is constant. It's just like, it's so bad that insurance companies are actually
they're denying.
Yeah, they're like platforms like Grow Therapy and all kinds of stuff that they're doing. They're basically contracting with insurance companies to get more therapists on board. You know what I mean? So they're helping therapists by doing all the paperwork and all that stuff. And all they have to do is basically the therapy to get more professionals in there doing it, because it's tough. There's just shelf life, doing therapy and direct care. Because it's a lot to take on.
Right? You can burn out if you don't watch and be careful.
I have a question too. It's like,
it's a huge problem in our field.
You're in Florida, right, Marcie? So you and Joey. So it's like, is there still like laws and restraints where, like, let's say I'm in fucking NC, right? I'm in North Carolina. Now, if I wanted like telehealth or something, would you be able to do that, or would I have to find somebody licensed in my own state? I mean, is there some sort of like leniency on that now, or is it still just as strict? Or
it's been like, you need to see somebody licensed in your own state. They are they are doing now. It's fairly new though. They're having like certain states that feel like licensures are comparable will be able to work together to do telehealth over the borders, over state borders.
Gotcha.
Florida is one of those states, and honestly, I can't remember the other ones. Yeah, that's kind of what spurred that off. Honestly, in my opinion, it shouldn't be state regulated. Every person who's licensed to do therapy can do it in any state. It really doesn't matter.
Right. Amen.
Honestly, Florida has some of the most stringent, requirements for licensure. So, I could pretty much go anywhere and my hours and all that will be a lot more than what they, respect what they need. So, but honestly, if you're licensed psychotherapist, period, you shouldn't have to just practice in your state. You should be able to practice anywhere, especially now, considering all the people that need help. Yeah. That's right. And there's so many like people don't want to go in the field for therapy. Like my job, like our therapists don't get paid a lot. It's crap, so
I get it.
When you're done paying like insurance and all that, it's really stinky. So it's they're trying to get more professionals in the field, but even some states like say Alaska, they don't even have a lot of licensed professionals. So they have to hire outside of the state to get people treated.
You guys should have free reign.
Alaska's backwards every which way you could think of. They have the highest sexual assault rate. They're fucking backwards out there.
Most UFO sightings.
It's very remote. It's very remote too. So,
but still, I mean,
it's not easy living. It's hard living.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So there shouldn't be any restrictions on mental health. Like anyone, anywhere should be able to get therapy from whoever.
That's
exactly.
Right.
As long as they met your basic requirements for licensure, that's it. Because it's a national test you take. It's not a state test. It's a national test. So it makes no difference. It doesn't make sense why I can only practice in Florida or somebody can only practice in,
it's ridiculous.
Like Washington State or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's like
if
you're helping people and you want to help people, you should be able to do that in every state.
Well, it's probably a money grab, right? Because
now if I was doing like coaching,
for a state license fee, so it's probably a money grab, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, that is too. I'm sorry, but that's because it makes no sense. They just want to charge like all these fees for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, no matter where you go, if I wanted to be licensed in another state, I'd have to pay all those fees in another state. But also every 2 years, I have to pay those fees too, just like I have to do here. So that's like a lot to take on. You know what I mean? And you don't make enough as it is. So it just there's a lot that deters. I really want to get involved in kind of changing all this stuff so it makes sense. So people are getting what they need, like all the provisions and restrictions that are on this don't make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not helpful. And we have so many people suffering that can't get help. Like you have people that are like, oh yeah, I was on a waiting list for 3 months. That's unacceptable. 3 months?
That's ridiculous.
Crazy. Should have to wait 3 months
to
see a psychiatrist or a therapist. That's crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's crazy.
By that time, you could have killed yourself or gotten to the point where you're so depressed that you end up, having suicidal ideation, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, mental health.
It doesn't make sense. And I've worked in community mental health. It's not good. It's not good. It's like very sad to even work there because these people aren't getting the adequate help.
Yeah, I've seen it personally myself. Yeah, I've seen it many times myself. State-run facilities, paid-for facilities, I've seen it all.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Ghetto bucks. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's insane. It's almost like the
and then like you have private
shit,
But privates are more like obviously they're concerned a lot with money. It's just hard to find.
Marcie. She boogied, man.
She froze out.
Yeah. Froze out.
Marcie, you're frozen. Like
I got it. I got it.
Go ahead, Mick. Fix it. Fix shit. Whoa, she's there twice.
Bam.
Hang on.
There you are.
We got 2 more.
I got it.
What's going on?
I got it. Watch this. Check this out, boys. Check it out, boys. Daddy's in control.
Damn, there we go.
Cousine, don't worry about it, Cousine.
Hey, Cousine, he's been learning.
All right.
That's right. The hell
Tech savvy.
That's right.
This is better. This is where it's supposed to be.
It only took a year.
Hey.
That's right.
No, earlier it's like Nick was talking and like Marcie, we'd ask you a question, but then like you'd talk, but then you'd pause, and it looked like you stopped talking. So Nick would start talking, and then you would start your talk would start coming through.
It's frozen.
Yeah, because it freezes, and the same thing happened like with Danny and Mick or you. Like as I'm waiting, I'm like, are they talking? So I go to talk, and it's like they were frozen. I didn't realize it. So I'm like, dang.
It's okay. Once it processes and everything, it should fix it. But if not, it's all good. I mean, what can you do? I mean, look at us. We're in 3 different states and we're shooting the shit, laughing and talking about some stuff. I mean, it's it's not that
technology.
big. I mean, you guys are in Florida, North Carolina, I'm in Jersey. I mean, shit.
So
not bad.
I'll take it. Now my daughter says she's moving to Greenville. You know what that is? How far that is?
North Carolina?
Look,
NC, right?
Danny's froze up. I thought he was just
Yeah, that's right above not far from Fayetteville.
Yeah, he's probably I don't know where Danny Boy is at. I don't know what town he's in.
No, he
Did he
froze
tell
up.
you thanks? Yeah, I know.
Oh,
he's out.
he might want to go get go get a little eating in.
Oh yeah, that's right. He said he had to duck out.
Yeah. You'd think he would
I don't
say
even know
something. Hey, see you later, Danny.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he tried
I gotta go.
just like it
I
did,
think,
like it just kicked me out, so maybe it kicked
Here
him
he
out.
comes. Here he comes.
What
He's
happened?
coming back.
We got
Okay.
you,
What the
handsome.
hell
We got
happened,
you,
man?
handsome.
What's
We
up?
There
thought
we
you ducked
go.
out
like-
to go get some
I
fucking
was like,
food.
oh, he had to get some
grub.
punani. He didn't even say goodbye. Like I was like,
Dude.
goodbye,
Nanny,
Dan.
nanny. Some punani.
Dude, I had to go see a man about a pretzel. What do you want me to tell you?
There you go.
Man about a
That's
pretzel.
You gotta see
Yeah.
a guy about to take the thing.
Dude, I don't know what the hell happened, man, but I'm back. I'm back, guys. I'm back.
Everybody's gonna
Yep.
get a turn.
Yep.
I'll be kicked out.
Everybody gets a turn.
I think my shit battery died, so sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah.
You're
It
good.
sounds like
It's top
Marcy,
rated.
are you still delayed?
Top rated show.
I think
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's on and off. I'm okay now. I see you guys. Everybody's fucking live and clear, so I think
Yeah,
we're
we're
good.
good.
Where were we at?
Babe, are you can you hear us?
Marcy, you good?
She's
Live?
moving.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
good.
Moving.
All right, cool. Yeah, so
I
what
can
else
hear
did
what
I have a
she's-
question
There
of?
we
I
go.
had another question, regarding is like, is there, and this is what I've experienced, right? Personally, is like, is there some sort of like, thing against people that are on benzos or something? Like, have you noticed this, or are you being pushed to like be anti-benzo, or have you noticed anything about that? Or
Yeah, there's always a stigma towards any controlled substance. Actually,
Okay.
there's a lot of controlled substances that don't even that people wouldn't even think are controlled.
Yeah.
But especially with opiates and benzos,
right?
because so many people abuse them. So there is a stigma.
Yep.
But it's weird. I've had both situations. Like some doctors don't think twice to prescribe any of that, you know what I mean? Based on what's going on with the person. And then other doctors or other like facilities, sometimes it's just a mindset. You go to one facility and the mindset's totally different. Like I've worked in lots of different types of settings. So I'll go to a place that they're all about, medical assisted treatment, like Suboxone and stuff like that. And then you have agencies that are like so against it. And same thing, like, oh, we don't want to give benzos, and other people, give benzos. They don't think twice about it. So it really depends. It's divided, but there is a large stigma, especially around that, because so many people abuse it. And benzos, if you do get addicted to it, it can be very dangerous coming off of it.
You could die.
You could die. It's like
You could
alcohol.
die kicking it.
Alcohol is very dangerous too. I've seen so many people die of alcohol. I've given CPR to so many people who are like in respiratory depression with opiates, and you got to be careful because they might have fentanyl on them, and you could die as a professional. So like people who are working in this and they see it, they're like, no, their mindset's like, hell no, we don't want to do it. But still, even though I've worked in that and I've seen the worst of the worst, it just depends on the situation. It just depends on what's going on and what the need is,
That's the same
there's a
thing
lot of
as like
factors
the
involved.
stigma.
There's no like right or wrong answer when it comes to that stuff.
Like you said, the Suboxone thing, or methadone, same thing. Whether heroin addicts, recovering heroin addicts, people are on methadone for 40, 50 years, some of them, But if that's what they need to take to be able to get up and live a functioning normal life, I've seen people be successful on that shit.
If there's no other way,
let it go.
Because opiates are so like they mess up your dopamine system so bad that that's the reason people can't like function. They can't get back to normal. They can spend like years and doing fine. But they're just not, they feel like dead inside, like flat. And they can't get it going again. And there's a lot of people that can't function off of those things. You know what I mean?
Because that,
so it's a matter of quality of life.
Like
as well. What's worse?
It almost like, exactly. But right, Marcy, would you agree that stuff's almost like it almost acts as an antidepressant as well on the mind? If you're taking like methadone or Suboxone or something like that, you're in a better state of mind because your body's not all,
gives you what you're needing so you can function. You feel normal. You don't feel like, Yeah, exactly. And it really depends how long you used opiates. You know what I mean? Like how you abused them, like, you know,
Absolutely.
and your body's ability to overcome it, because everybody's different. Everyone's got different problems. Like just for instance, I have MTHFR, so my liver doesn't really work that well. So like that would be terrible for me. I would be like addicted immediately and I would have a really hard time getting back to normal because of my body, the way my body responds to things and processes things. So other people, you know, like because their body, you know, circulation, everything's so well and like humming that, you know, they can come off of it and still be fine, you know, and it might, you know, as you age, it might get worse. You might have more of a problem if you're, you know, whatever. So like I said, it just really depends on the circumstances. Everybody's very different.
Long time users are, I noticed in my experience, the guys and the girls who've been shooting dope for 25 years, 25 years, you know, those are the cats that generally, you know, are on that. You know what I mean? It's because, like you said, you've messed up your dopamine and your whole body
serotonin
clock and everything is so whacked out. You're all fucked up. 20-something years of twisting your everything around. Just think, you know, you're like a raw.
Like your chemicals are like all messed up.
God. Yeah. And you don't think about that when you're doing it, because at first, when you first start, you know, you're a kid, you don't think like that. You know,
out for the high, not for the chemical.
Yeah. But as you get older and you get wiser,
like,
and you
forget
realize
about that. Just think about like the chemicals and what they do to your brain. They literally make you think different. So it like immediately affects your prefrontal cortex. You know, the place where you make decisions. You know, like all of that stuff, and the chemicals actually, and you know, dissonance is a huge thing with addiction as well. If you haven't heard of that, it's basically like you can't do something that you know is wrong. It causes stress in the body. So either you have to change your behavior or you have to change your thought process. And obviously changing your thought process is easier. It's the reason why people like, you know, okay, like they look at the drug and they're like rationalize everything, you know what I mean? Because you can't live in that state, like to do something you know is wrong and to be in that state, it causes so much stress to the body. I mean, any addict could tell you like, that's, you know, that's really tough. You know, you go like back and forth all the time. And so there's so many things affecting you on so many levels. So you have like the brain chemistry and how that changes. Okay. You have the habit itself. So just the habit alone, forget all the chemical stuff, is really hard. Like, even if you have a habit of doing something like, you know, okay, I take a shower at this time of day, changing that's going to be difficult, you know, and that's just like a really small example. But you can imagine doing drugs and all the things that encompass your life when you're doing drugs, that builds habits. You know what I mean? On so many levels, that's hard to do. So you have the chemical, you have the habitual, you know, and then you have, you got to think about what it does for you emotionally. Okay. And how that fills you up. Okay. So you have so many different levels that you're combating when you deal with, you know, like substances or changing a habit and just in general, you know, because it affects you in different ways. So it's really tough. You got to deal with all of those things, you know, and just to say emotions are like the number one thing that determines what you do, like your behavior, but it's not something that's dealt with in the mainstream at all. Like you see a woman cry or a man cry, it's never taken well. It's always like, you know, if a female cries, like, oh, here we go again. If a dude cries, sort of like, mental. You know what I mean? Like, so
he's a punk.
Nobody is getting what they need that way. And I say emotion, people find out I'm a therapist. It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
You know?
hit it right
like,
on the head, Marcie. You hit it right on the head.
Don't shrink.
You hit it right on the head there. Men are raised from when little kids, don't cry like a girl. What are you, a punk? What are you, pussy? You cry like a girl.
Yeah, like you cannot express your emotion.
Back in the day, we were like that.
And where does
we
it go?
Taught
Nowhere.
to suppress.
Just get stuck.
And it's in.
Exactly.
And that's where, you know. But you're right. You hit it right on the head. And anybody knows.
It's so unhealthy.
And it could be for, and it could be for an alcoholic, a drug addict. You know, it's the same thing. The habit of getting off work, construction job, whatever you do, or office, go to the bar with the boys for a couple beers. You know, whether it's going to cop the drugs, fixing up that whole ritual. It's called a ritual. Setting up the needle, the spoon, all that shit. That becomes just as important to enjoy than the drug itself. Going to cop,
like
the whole fucking thing. Going to the bar, you know, drinking with the boys, all that shit. So that's
Absolutely.
habits very, very big. And that's You know, sometimes you
Yeah, you
question
have
what
all
are you
those
going
things
through
to
first?
unravel. That's a
Habit
lot.
or yeah, it's nuts. Changing your ways and the habits and stuff like that, or work on the mind. I mean, it's tough what to start with. I don't know which is right, which is wrong to start with. You know, maybe white knuckling it. You know, maybe wanting to go to the bar. I mean, I don't know. You know, there's just all different ways to go about it. And it's just crazy.
There's like a lot. Like when you attack a habit or when you're trying to change something, you have to change it slowly, one step at a time. If that could look like a really small change for somebody. Like I said, if you want to start, you know, like being healthier, you want to start with something that's challenging but manageable. Because if it's too overwhelming, you're going to give up, you're going to feel defeated, and it's going to be terrible. So, you know, you have to, that's where people mostly go wrong with that. They try to white knuckle it and just do it all at once. And it doesn't work that way.
Right.
You know, you have to do it slowly. You know what I mean? You have to take care of all the things, you know, everything has to be contended with your habits. What led you to drugs in the first place? Like what's the emotional stuff that's leading you there?
So
what are the feelings behind it? You know, what are the behaviors we need to mitigate? There's so much. You want to take care of all of it, you know?
Oh man.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Shit.
I gotta jump off.
Almost an hour. Yeah, we're almost on an hour, so I think we're all right, Danny boy.
Guys, Marcie, thank you so much for coming on. So informative.
Yeah, of course. It was nice seeing you again.
Joey, good talking. You too. Joey, always good, brother. Mickey, of course.
You taking the bike? You're not riding the bike, are you?
No, not right now. No, bro. I'm taking my car.
No. Yeah, good deal.
Yeah.
All right, brother. That's safe.
I'm having PTSD from I'm getting upset looking at your sweatshirt because I have the same sweatshirt, or I had the same sweatshirt. Yeah. Well, when I was just up in Virginia at Nikki's, one night I was sitting on the couch like playing my game and shit, and
you woke up naked.
Max woke up in the middle of the night. He walked out and he looked. I was like, "What's the matter, buddy?" And he came over and I picked him up in my arms, like he's just hugging on me. And then he reached back and he looked at me and went,
shit.
I mean,
shit.
Joey, I'll mail you this one. I'll take this.
Bro, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning.
This shit.
It was like 2 o'clock in the morning when this happened.
Dude, it'll happen.
I couldn't move. I'm yelling. I had to wake up Nikki and Jose. I'm yelling.
Shit,
man. Puke mucus
all over me.
There's nothing worse than puke mucus, right?
We've all been there. We're all
stringy
parents,
mucus,
guys. We're all parents here, so we know what that's like, you know.
My freaking daughter's still sick from last week. There's bad virus going around.
And Rachel's sick too, right, Nick? You said?
Yeah, she was sick this week. Yeah, bad virus. My brother-in-law out all week. My sister banged out. Bad virus going around by us.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Bad.
That's why I never leave the house. Hardly, you know. So
yeah,
it helps.
Yeah.
You know?
All
right, guys. Well, hey, man.
All right, man. We're gonna end it then. We all set? We're good. Or Danny, you're gonna hop off?
Yeah, I'm gonna hop off whenever you guys.
You hopping off? All right, you're gonna close it up with us?
Jump out prematurely. Let's close it out. Yep.
All right, Marcie, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. We loved it.
Marcie, awesome as usual.
Yeah, man.
So informative. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I feel better. I feel better mentally whenever you're on. With these two fucking guys, not so much. You know?
All right. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, man.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
It's like when I go off with Joey and Meg, it's like I'm like looking for a Xanax or something. You know what I mean? So it's like, when I go with Marcie, it's like I'm fucking mellow. I can sit on a couch, you know.
All right.
There you go. That's funny shit.
Yep.
Didn't make anybody want a Xanax. I'll tell you what.
Tell you, man.
It's my special charm. All right, listen. We love you guys. Thanks a lot, Marcie. Thanks again for coming in. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Throw a comment in there. I don't care if it's positive or negative.
Your love don't cost a thing.
We appreciate it.
There you go, Dax. Tell them, brother.
Right, guys.
Your love don't cost a thing.
Doesn't cost a thing. That's right.
Love you.